It looks like Wicked for Good is going to bring some big surprises for fans, and not just because it's the follow-up to the 2024 movie. Director Jon M has teased a bunch of exciting updates, including a never-before-seen flashback of baby Glinda, a secret major cast member who isn't Dorothy, and some pretty significant changes to Nessa Rose's story. Plus, there's the addition of original songs for both Glinda and Elphaba, which the director has explained were needed to give the characters more emotional depth. So let's break down everything we know about Wicked for Good so far. One of the most talked about updates is that Wicked for Good will feature a flashback showing Glinda as a baby. This is a pretty big departure from the Broadway musical where we don't get to see her early years. The first movie, like the stage show, gave audiences glimpses of baby Elphaba and even moments from Elphaba and Nessa Rose's childhood, which were essential in understanding their journeys. But this new flashback of Glinda is meant to offer a fresh perspective and really explore who she was before she arrived at Shiz. Chu mentioned that this scene was actually in the original script but was cut during production because there were so many other pressures at the time. While speaking with Entertainment Weekly, Chu explained that he insisted on bringing the scene back because it adds a lot to Glinda's character. The flashback is designed to show how her early experiences shaped her identity and the choices she makes later in the story. Chu also teased that Glinda's final speech to the Munchkins, the one she delivers from her iconic bubble, has been refined. He said he felt it needed a bit of polishing to really hit the emotional notes the story required. This new glimpse into Glinda's childhood is meant to mirror the way the first movie used Elphaba's flashbacks. In the original film, we saw moments that helped explain why Elphaba became who she did and the tough choices she faced, culminating in the powerful, defying gravity sequence where she sees a reflection of her younger self. Now, Wicked for Good is taking a similar approach with Glinda, giving audiences a deeper understanding of her actions in the first movie and her decisions in the sequel. It's also going to be a fresh experience for fans of the stage musical, as well as newcomers who are just following the story on screen. The addition of the flashback, along with Glinda's refined speech and a brand new song called The Girl in the Bubble, expands her role significantly. Ariana Grande-Butera's performance in the first movie was already critically acclaimed and even earned her an Academy Award nomination, so it makes sense that the filmmakers wanted to give her character more weight in the sequel. With these updates, Wicked for Good isn't just Elphaba's story anymore. It's the story of Elphaba and Glinda together, highlighting their friendship, conflicts, and growth. Of course, some of these changes could be divisive among die-hard Broadway fans who might be more attached to the original musical storyline, but with Chu personally ensuring the baby Glinda flashback made it into the film after being cut from the original script, it seems poised to be a meaningful addition that enriches the story rather than detracts from it. On top of that, Chu has also hinted that the full cast of Wicked for Good hasn't been revealed yet. The movie, which hits theaters on November 21, will wrap up the story of Elphaba, played by Cynthia Erivo, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda, Ariana Grande, the Good. Their friendship faces new challenges as the world of Oz continues to evolve and the familiar characters from The Wizard of Oz start to appear. The teaser suggests some iconic Oz moments, including Glinda meeting Dorothy and seeing the origins of both the Tin Man and the Scarecrow. But Dorothy herself is only hinted at in the film, keeping the focus on the backstories of other Ozian characters rather than shifting attention away from Glinda and Elphaba. One character getting some unexpected attention is the Cowardly Lion. Chu teased in an interview with Deadline that this character is actually voiced by a major actor, though he didn't reveal who it is. He said the actor's red carpet appearance is going to be wild and that the role, even if small, is still significant. According to Chu, he contacted the actor on Instagram, explaining that the part didn't have a ton of lines but would be fun. The actor was enthusiastic and immediately agreed to record the dialogue, saying something along the lines of, "Why not? Let's go." For context, the Cowardly Lion's origin story was partially revealed in the 2024 Wicked movie. In that film, Elphaba and Fiyero, played by Jonathan Bailey, rescue a lion cub from a cruel new teacher at Shiz University who was installed to spread anti-animal propaganda. The cub is released into the wild, and in the Broadway musical's second act, which Wicked for Good seems to follow, it's confirmed that he grows up to become the Cowardly Lion. Interestingly, public opinion turns against Elphaba, blaming her for the lion's cowardice because he wasn't allowed to fight his own battles as a cub. It seems that the sequel will follow Dorothy's journey to the Emerald City more than the stage musical does, although her role is quite limited. Since the Cowardly Lion isn't as tightly connected to Elphaba and Glinda's storylines, his part will likely remain small. But even small roles are getting major starts, and Chu clearly wanted someone memorable for the lion. His storyline also reinforces just how unfairly Elphaba is treated. She saves the lion, but she's still criticized, all while the wizard, played by Jeff Goldblum, is campaigning against talking animals. So even if the movie doesn't dive fully into the lion story, it's a plot point that adds nuance to the larger conflict. Another big change in Wicked for good involves Nessa Rose's character. Based on feedback from the disabled community, Winnie Holzman, the original Broadway writer and co-writer of the film's screenplay, reached out to Marissa Bode, who plays Nessa Rose, to adjust her storyline. In the stage show, Nessa Rose walks, but in the movie, she now flies. This may seem like a small detail, but it's actually a huge update, reflecting a more inclusive approach to her character. Bode shared that she loved the change, noting that it made her feel empowered and highlighted the idea that everyone deserves a chance to fly. She even added that flying on set was a lot of fun. This adjustment doesn't change the overall tragic arc of Nessa Rose. She still meets her untimely end when Dorothy's farmhouse crashes in Munchkinland. That iconic moment also introduces the red ruby slippers, which have been reimagined as silver bejeweled heels in the film as a nod to L. Frank Baum's original Wonderful Wizard of Oz novel. Still, giving Nessa Rose the ability to fly before her end adds a new layer to her story and allows Bode to represent her disability in a way that feels empowering rather than limiting. She's been vocal about wanting to see more actors with disabilities in roles that aren't defined solely by their disability, and this film is a step in that direction. Chu has also explained why the sequel will include 2 brand new songs for Glinda and Elphaba, something that's never been done in the Broadway adaptation. Speaking at Deadline's Contenders London event, Chu reflected on his long-standing connection to Wicked, recalling that he had always been drawn to the second act of the musical, which he considers the emotional core of the story. According to Chu, the new songs weren't added to create spectacle, but to deepen the emotional connection to the characters. He explained that the second half of the story needed to explore Glinda and Elphaba's experiences more fully. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.